Hello and welcome to Miss B's Resources tutorial. Today we're going to look at adding and subtracting fractions with a common denominator. For this tutorial you need to be aware that the numerator is the top number of the fraction and the denominator is the bottom number of the fraction. We're going to look at add a half first. Now a half is 1 out of 2, so it's out of 2 slices, so we're going to look at this in diagram form. And we've split our cake into 2 slices because it's out of 2. And the first fraction we've got 1 out of the 2 slices. I'm going to colour in 1 of these 2 slices. And again, the same in the second fraction, we've got 1 out of 2 slices. So I'm going to colour in 1 out of the 2 slices. So in total, I have 2 slices. I've got 1 slice here and I've got the second slice in this cake here, so I've got 2 slices in total. So I now have 2 out of 2. Now 2 out of 2 is the same as 1 whole. If you look at the diagram, we've got 1 whole cake. At this point here, it's important to note when the numerator, the top number of fraction, is the same as the denominator, the bottom number of the fraction, it is equal to 1. Moving forward, we're going to look at 3/4, take away 1/4. Now we've got to be careful, it's a take away, so you'll notice when we go into diagram form, we've got a take away sign. And this time our fractions are out of 4, 3 out of 4. So I've got my cake and I've split it into 4 equal slices. We've got 3/4, so I'm going to colour in 3 out of the 4 slices. Take away 1/4, so I'm going to colour in 1 out of the 4 slices. Now, 3/4, so 3 slices, and you're taking away 1, you're eating 1, would leave you with 2 slices. Now these 2 slices, leave you with 2 out of the 4. So we've got 2 over 4. But 2 over 4 is also equivalent to a half. If you look at the diagram, can you see how you've got half of the cake? How did we get this mathematically? Well, what we did was we said 2 and 4 are both in the 2 times table. So I'm going to do 2 divided by 2 gets me 1. And I'm going to do 4 divided by 2 to get me 2. Moving on to the final question. We've got 3/5, add on 1/5. Now we're not going to do it in picture form this time. We need to be able to do this in an exam without doing pictures so we can get through the whole exam paper. So we've got 3/5, 3 out of 5, add on 1 out of 5. So the first thing that I know is my denominator is the same and it's going to be out of 5. And then I'm going to add my numerators together. So 3 add 1 makes 4. So I've got 4 out of 5 slices. Well done if you've got that. What I'm going to do now is put some questions on the board and I'd like you to freeze the computer and have a go at doing them. Once you've done that, we will go through the answers together. Don't forget to freeze the board and have a go at these yourself. Okay, the answers, hopefully you've had a go at these by now. Now the first question, you've got 3/7 add on 2/7. So you know it's going to be out of 7. Your answer. 3 add on 2 makes 5, so you should have 5/7. The next one, you've got 4/5 subtract 1/5. So you know your answer is going to be out of 5 and you're taking away, so 4 take away 1 leaves you with 3. And the last one, you've got 7/11 add on 3/11. So you know your answer is going to be out of 11 and you should have 10/11. Well done if you got them right. Okay, we're going to now try and extend our knowledge, and we're going to do this by looking at adding and subtracting fractions, which are mixed numbers though. So, first of all, we need to know what a mixed number is. Now, a mixed number is basically a conversion from a top-heavy fraction. That's an improper fraction where the top number is larger than the bottom number. So if we look at this one here, we've got 17 over 5. Now 17 over 5 means 17 divided by, this line of fractions time to divide, 17 divided by 5. So if we do 17 divided by 5, we will get 3 remainder 2. So I know that 17 over 5 is actually the same as 3 wholes, and you're left with 2 fifths. Your remainder is the fraction bit that you're left with. And we need to be able to convert between an improper fraction and a mixed number. Now you'll notice in these questions here, so if we look at the first question, we have 3 and 3/5, add on 2 and 1/5. So if we complete this question, we're going to look at the whole numbers first. We're going to do 3, add on the 2. That leaves us with 5. Now we're going to look at the fractions. I'm happy because the denominator is the same. And we're going to do 3/5, add on 1/5. That leaves us with 4/5. Well done if you got that. The next one, we've got to subtract, and it's 2 and 4/7, take away 1 and 3/7. So I'm going to do 2, take away 1, and that leaves me with 1. Then I'm going to do 4/7, take away 3/7, it leaves me with 1/7. Last but not least, we're going to look at the challenge. Now it's a challenge, so something different is going to happen here, something a bit quirky. And we've got 3 and 4/11, add on 1 and 9/11. So I'm going to do the 3, add the 1 first. And that gets me 4. And the 4/11, add the 9/11 gives me 13/11. Can you see what the quirky bit is here? What's different? Yeah, the top number is bigger than the bottom number, so it's an improper fraction. So we need to convert this 13 over 11 to a mixed number. So we've got 13 over 11. Well, that's the same as 13 divided by 11, which leaves us with 1 remainder 2. So 13 over 11 is the same as 1 whole and 2 11ths. So this part here is equivalent to 1 whole and 2 11ths. Well, we've already got 4 wholes, so 4 add on this 1 makes 5. So our answer is equal to 5 and 2 11ths. Well done if you got that. Next, we're going to move on to an examination question. So again, when the screen comes on, pause the screen and have a go at answering yourself. Last but not least, we're going to apply our knowledge to an examination question. Okay. Now, Billingham is 2 and 3/5 of a mile in the left direction, and Stockton is 5 and 4/5 of a mile in the right direction. And at the moment, we're stood somewhere in between that. So we're going to do a little diagram to represent this to help us. So we've got a nice little road here, and at one end of this road is Billingham. And the other end of this road is Stockton, and we're in the middle. Now, to get to Billingham, it'll be 2 and 3/5 of a mile, and to get to Stockton, it'll be 5 and 4/5 of a mile. And we want this full distance from Billingham to Stockton, so what we need to do is add the fractions together. So we're going to do 2 and 3/5, add on 5 and 4/5. Now this we can do. We deal with the whole numbers first, so the 2, add on the 5, and that gets us 7. And then we deal with the fractions. 3/5, add on 4/5. Now 3/5, add on 4/5 leaves us with 7/5. Right, well we've got a problem again. We have an improper fraction, top-heavy fraction. So what we need to do is convert this to a mixed number. So 7 divided by 5 leaves us with 1 remainder 2. So we are actually left with a total of 7 add the 1, 8 and 2/5. And if you're struggling with where that came from, we know 7 over 5 is equal to 1 and 2/5, because 7 divided by 5 is 1 remainder 2. Now you've not finished the question yet because you need your units of measure. So 8 and 2/5 miles. Okay, now the question answers and marks come from the following. Realising that you need to add them together. Having the answer and having your units of measure. Well done if you got that. The next video in the series you need to watch after this, if you understand it, is adding and subtracting fractions without a common denominator.